Letting go of a home you've lived in for 20, 30, or even 50 years isn't just a move. It's a quiet earthquake. It shakes memories loose, stirs emotions you didn't even know you had, and brings up that strange cocktail of sadness, nostalgia, freedom, and, wait, where did I put my glasses this time? If you're feeling all that, you're normal, you're human, and you're definitely not alone. A lot of older adults say the same thing. I wasn't just packing things, I was packing parts of myself. But they also shared what helped them heal, adjust, and step into the next chapter with peace, not guilt, not regret, not overwhelm. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let me walk you through how to emotionally let go of a long-time home. Not vague advice, not the same old lines, but real, lived-in wisdom from seniors who've actually been through it. Number 1. Create a goodbye ritual that feels personal to you. Let me tell you something a lot of people don't admit. Saying goodbye to a home feels strange. It's emotional, yes, but it's also oddly awkward. It's like giving a farewell speech to someone who can't talk back. But here's the thing. You need that moment. Almost every senior I've spoken to said the same thing. I didn't realize how badly I needed closure until I actually created a little ritual. And don't overthink it. Your ritual doesn't need candles, chanting, or sage, unless that's your thing. Then sage away, my friend. It could be as simple as walking from room to room and letting yourself remember what happened there. The big moments, the embarrassing ones, the boring Tuesdays, all of it. One gentleman said he took one final slow lap around his living room while playing his late wife's favorite song. Another woman said she sat on the floor of her empty bedroom and finally allowed herself to cry, not because she was sad, but because she felt grateful. My favorite story was from a senior who told her house, "Thanks for putting up with my kids, they weren't easy." See? A little humor never hurts, it helps the heart unclench. Your ritual should be whatever helps your soul say, "This chapter was good, and now I'm ready for the next one." You're not being dramatic, you're being human. 2. Keep memory snapshots, not the whole house. Let's be honest, if we kept everything that ever meant something, we'd all be living inside a glorified museum with boxes stacked to the ceiling. You're not a curator at the Smithsonian, and your old home is not an archaeological site. What you can keep, though, are the pieces that truly hold meaning. Think of this step the way you'd think about taking photos on a trip. You don't photograph every tree, every building, every nap you took. You capture the moments that made you smile immediately, the ones your heart reacts to before your brain even catches up. A lot of seniors I've spoken to said their turning point came when they realized they weren't throwing away memories. They were just trimming the unnecessary details. Like one woman who kept her favorite teacup from a full set she'd had since 1978. She didn't need 12 cups to remember her late husband pouring her tea every Sunday morning. That one cup held the entire story. Another gentleman said he kept one hammer from his workshop, the old rusty one that built everything from baby cribs to backyard benches. "I don't need the other 50 tools," he said. "This one reminds me of who I was." Your memories don't live in your things. They live in you. So choose the items that spark a reaction, the ones that make you smile instantly or tear up instantly. If an item makes you think too hard about whether you should keep it, well, that's your answer. Your heart knows what it needs to carry forward. 3. Recreate one familiar, emotional corner in your new home. Every home has that one spot. Your spot. The chair where you always drink your morning coffee. The little table where you keep your crossword puzzles. The corner that gets just the right amount of sunlight at 10:15 a.m. You know the one. When you downsize, the layout changes, the walls change, the floors change, but the feeling doesn't have to. So many seniors say the same thing. I didn't feel settled until I recreated at least one familiar corner. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to feel like you. One woman set up her sewing nook exactly as it had been for decades. Same basket, same lamp, same chair with the slightly wobbly leg she refuses to replace. That little corner made her new home feel instantly less foreign. Another man recreated his thinking spot, a little chair next to a window where he'd drink his evening whiskey. He said that corner was like an anchor. Everything else in the new home could feel different, but that spot made him feel rooted. And listen, this isn't just sentimental talk. Your brain loves familiarity. When it recognizes something familiar, it says, okay, we know this. We're safe here. It's like giving yourself an emotional welcome mat. Don't underestimate this. You'd be amazed at how one chair, one lamp, one shelf of books, or even one favorite photo arrangement can make the new place feel like home in a way nothing else can. And if the new home is smaller, even better, cozier, more intentional, more you. That emotional corner becomes your heartbeat in the new space. 4. Don't rush the grief. Treat it like losing a chapter, not a building. Let me tell you a truth most people don't say out loud because they're trying too hard to be practical. When you leave a home you've lived in for decades, you're not grieving drywall, windows, or floorboards. You're grieving a whole chapter of your life. The version of you that lived there, the habits you formed there, the people who walked those halls with you, the seasons that passed outside those windows. That's what hurts. And grief, well, it works on its own schedule. It doesn't care about moving dates, checklists, or how many boxes you've packed. You might feel fine for weeks and then suddenly tear up just because you found an old birthday card behind the dresser. You might feel strong all morning, then lose it when you take one last look at the kitchen where you made 1,000 breakfasts, some good, some questionable. One woman said she randomly cried while folding towels the week before her move. Towels! Not wedding photos, not baby shoes. Towels. And she said that's when she realized grief is sneaky. It shows up wherever it wants, so let it. Don't try to rush it out the door like an unwanted guest. Treat it like an old friend who's dropping by to help you process the moment. You're not weak for feeling emotional. You're not being dramatic. You're not failing to move on quickly enough. You're doing exactly what a human with a full life does. You're closing a chapter carefully, with respect and with a full heart. And heart transitions take time. Honestly, if you didn't feel anything, that would say more about the house than it does about you. The grief means the years there mattered. So take your time. Feel what you need to feel. You're not just leaving a building. You're gently stepping out of an old version of yourself and into a new one. 5. Tell the house thank you instead of goodbye. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Switching from goodbye to thank you changes everything. Seniors talk about this like it was a turning point, the emotional click that finally helped them let go. Think about it. Goodbye feels final, like a door slamming shut. But thank you, well, that feels like acknowledgement. It feels warm, appreciative, almost like you're giving the house a hug instead of turning your back on it. One gentleman said he stood in the hallway where his kids used to line up on the first day of school and whispered, "Thank you for keeping them safe." A woman said she touched the kitchen counter, the same counter where she kneaded dough for 40 years, and said, "You witnessed a lot of messes and a few miracles." Another laughed and told her bathroom, "Thanks for making it through the 80s with me. It wasn't easy." When you approach the move with gratitude, something inside you relaxes. Gratitude softens the edges. It reminds you that your home wasn't just a shelter. It was a witness to your life. It held you through heartbreaks, through celebrations, through ordinary Tuesday afternoons. It deserves a thank you. And you deserve the peace that comes from giving it. So talk to the house. It might feel silly at first, like you're talking to a very large, very quiet friend. But trust me, it works. Saying thank you gives you an ending without turning it into a loss. 6. Leave a small legacy note for the next owner. This one. This one's special. And honestly, a lot of seniors say it was the most healing thing they did. Leaving a small note for the next person who lives there lets you close your chapter with generosity instead of sadness. It turns the move from something that's happening to you into something you're passing forward. And it doesn't have to be some poetic masterpiece. It can be simple, sweet, or even funny. One woman said she wrote a note that said, "The best spot for morning sun is the right side of the porch. Brew your coffee strong and enjoy it." Another senior wrote, "If you hear creaking in the hallway, don't worry. It's just the house settling. Unless it's Tuesday. Tuesdays are weird around here." I once read about a couple who left a list titled, "Things this house is really good at." The list included keeping plants alive, hiding socks, mysteriously, and holding warmth in the winter like a big old hug. It doesn't matter what you write. It's the gesture that counts. You're leaving a piece of yourself in the home, something that says, "I loved this place. I cared for it. I hope it brings you joy too." It's not really for the new owners. It's for you. It lets you put a gentle, heartfelt period at the end of a long story. 7. Visit, but only once. After the new family moves in. Let me tell you something that surprises a lot of people. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do after you move is to see someone else living in your old home. I know, it sounds painful. Some seniors swear they'll never look back because they're afraid it'll break them. And then they go back, one time, and it does the exact opposite. One gentleman said he visited his old home after the new family had moved in. He said when he saw two little kids running around the yard he once mowed every Saturday morning, something inside him finally relaxed. He didn't feel replaced. He felt relieved. He said it was like seeing the house alive again, not sitting silently in his memory like a shrine he couldn't touch. Another woman said she visited her old place, saw the new owners had painted the kitchen red, a color she would never use, and she suddenly felt free. She laughed and said, "Well, this definitely isn't my house anymore." And strangely, that helped her move on. But here's the trick. You only visit once, because if you keep going back, it can turn into emotional limbo. You start comparing too much. You start wondering why they put a trampoline where your roses used to be. You start noticing every change and making it personal. And trust me, nothing good comes after visit number 2. The goal is to give yourself closure, not a new obsession. One visit lets your brain say, "Okay, life is moving forward, theirs and mine." After that, it's time to let your chapter rest gently behind you. 8. Fill the new space with new stories ASAP. Here's something seniors always say. The worst thing you can do in a new home is tiptoe around it like you're visiting a museum where touching anything is forbidden. This is your place now. Claim it. Break it in a little. Make it smell like you're cooking, sound like your voice, and feel like you actually live there. And the way you do that is by creating new stories as quickly as possible. One man said he invited his grandchildren over the very first weekend and let them run around with sticky fingers and loud little voices. He said that one afternoon instantly softened the loneliness he had been expecting. Another woman hung her favorite painting on the wall the very first hour she arrived. She didn't wait for the furniture to be perfect or the boxes to be unpacked. She just wanted her new home to have something familiar to greet her every time she walked through the room. Think of your new home like a blank notebook. It doesn't come to life until you start writing in it. Eat your first meal there, even if it's just a sandwich on a paper plate. Have your first laugh there. Take your first nap on the couch. Burn your first attempt at cooking something. It happens to all of us. Open the windows. Play music. Let the house hear your footsteps. The sooner you start living, the sooner it starts feeling like home. If you're wondering how to actually organize your new place without losing your mind, a senior downsizing planner can help. It maps out furniture, belongings, and keeps track of what stays or goes. Check the link in the pinned comment below. 9. Let yourself laugh at the chaos. If you've downsized, you already know the truth. Moving is a circus. A messy, unpredictable, why do I own 47 plastic bags kind of circus. And the only way to survive it with your sanity intact is to laugh, genuinely laugh, at the absurdity of it all. Every senior has a funny story. One woman shared that she carefully labeled her boxes, only to discover she packed all her forks in a box called bathroom cabinet, MISC. Another man said he spent half a day looking for his glasses, panicking, only to find them taped inside a box labeled fragile, Christmas lights. Chaos comes with the territory. Your new home will feel like a wilderness of boxes at first. You'll lose something important. You'll open the wrong drawer 50 times. You might even find yourself eating dinner standing up because the table is buried under a heap of bubble wrap. Laugh at it. Not everything during a transition has to be serious or sentimental. Humor gives you breathing room. It's your brain's way of saying, okay, we're doing the best we can here. And funny enough, these mistakes, these silly, frustrating moments often become some of your favorite early memories in the new place. Years from now, you'll probably look back and say, remember when I accidentally donated all my good towels and kept the ones I actually hate? And you'll laugh again. The chaos is temporary. The stories last forever. 10. Focus on what you gained, not just what you left behind. This is the part that truly shifts everything. Yes, you left a home filled with history. Yes, it hurts sometimes. But downsizing isn't just about losing space. It's about gaining freedom, clarity, and a sense of peace you might not have even realized you were missing. One senior said moving to a smaller home felt like losing 500 pounds. Not physically, but mentally. No more endless cleaning. No more fixing things every other month. No more rooms sitting empty, gathering dust and guilt. Another man said he didn't know how stressed he'd been until he moved. In his words, my old house was the size of my responsibilities, not the size of my life. And his new place? It fit him perfectly, like a comfortable jacket instead of an oversized coat he'd been dragging around for years. Think about what you've gained. More free time, more control, more calm, more energy, more simplicity, more space in your mind, even if you have less space under your roof. And don't underestimate how beautiful that is. Smaller often means cozier, simplified often means peaceful. And a new home, even with its unfamiliar walls and freshly painted smells, gives you something powerful, a chance to shape the next chapter exactly how you want it. You didn't lose your life when you moved. You just made room for the next version of it. If you made it this far, just know this. Letting go of a long-term home doesn't make you weak. It makes you brave. You didn't just close a door. You opened a brand new one, and you brought all your strength, wisdom, and humor with you. And I'm proud of you for that. If this video helped you even a little, hit that like button so more seniors can find it. And if you want more warm, honest conversations like this, the kind that make you feel seen, not lectured, make sure you subscribe. Take care, my friend. And remember, your new chapter deserves the same love you gave the old one.